So you found your dream home and you're ready to move in. Stay tuned to hear the 7 things you must do before moving into your new home. Everybody, thanks for tuning into my channel, Living in Tampa, where it's my goal to show you everything you need to know about eating, sleeping, playing, and living in the greater Tampa Bay area. Hey, if it's your first time to my channel, do me a big favor, hit that subscribe button. Ring the little bell so you'll be notified every time that I release a new video. So today I am in Seminole Heights, a beautiful little area in Tampa. It's got so much character. There's lots of little bungalows. This area is really being revitalized. There's cool restaurants and breweries and lots of little things to do. You can walk to a lot of this, so this is definitely an up-and-coming area. And one of the greatest perks of Seminole is that this Hillsborough River right here, right behind me, runs through it, and it is just gorgeous. So they've got this nice little trail over here where you can walk. They've got benches where you can sit, just relax and enjoy the peacefulness that comes along with being on the river. So today's video, I'm going to cover 7 things that you must do before you move into your house. So you've been looking for your dream home, you finally found it, it's ready to move. These things that I'm going to share with you are going to be little tips that I'm hoping are going to alleviate some stress for you. So I just moved my son into his very first apartment. He graduated from USF finally. He's a mechanical engineer. He got his first job and he wanted to move into an apartment. So I was just going over a bunch of these things with him that he really hadn't thought of before because it's his first time moving out on his own. Now me, I've moved 23 times, so a lot of these things I don't even think about, but it got me to thinking that putting together a video like this might be useful for some of you that don't move all that often. Now some of these tips might be pretty elementary and you might be thinking, why is she going over this? But I'm just trying to make this an all-inclusive kind of list for you so that you won't have stress or forget something that's very important to do before you move in or makes more sense for you to do before you move in. So let's get started. Number 1 would be to change your locks. So you're moving into a new home. It's probably not brand new. Now, if it is brand new, obviously disregard this. But if you're buying a resale home, then you are going to want to change the locks on that because who knows how many keys have been given out over the years, how many relatives might still have keys that they've forgotten about, things like that. So you want to be sure to change the locks and you want to be sure to change any codes that are on the garage doors or any other keyless devices that there might be in the home. Number 2, you're going to want to make sure that you set up your utilities. This should be a no-brainer, but I will tell you, in all the stress and chaos that comes along with moving, I have had people over the years that have actually forgotten to do this. And then they go to move in, they have no electricity or they have no water, and their first night in their brand new home is absolutely miserable. So make sure you put this on your to-do list. It's nice to go ahead and have your internet set up, have your cable set up, your water, your electric, your garbage service, if that's not included in your tax bill. In some parts of Tampa it is, in other parts it's not. So be sure to ask your real estate agent for that information for that specific property to make it easy on you. There are even concierge services that will take care of all of that for you. If you're interested in that, you can always reach out to me. I'm happy to provide it to you, but that is definitely something you want to take care of before you move into your new house. And speaking of utilities, it's also a good time to become familiar with where your fuse box is and where your water shutoff valve is. If you have a leak in your house and you don't know where to shut the water off, that can be catastrophic. So that is something that the inspector, whenever the inspector does the home inspection for you, should be pointing out for you in the inspection report. If, however, that was not done, make sure that you find out where that is. Typically, it's going to be on the side of the house. Sometimes it's out in the yard somewhere, so it's not always easy to find, and you don't want to be scrambling to find it while you've got a big leak going on in your home. The other thing would be your fuse box. In most homes in Florida, it's going to be in the garage, but that can vary, so you do want to check that out too in case there's some sort of electrical issue. You want to make sure that you're able to turn off any fuses that need to be turned off immediately. So make sure you're not blocking that or covering that either when you're moving into your new house. Number 4 is to have your house cleaned or clean your house yourself before you move in. It's so much easier before you've got your furniture, your curtains, your pictures, all of that in the home to go ahead and clean it. So either hire somebody or do it yourself. You're going to want to clean the baseboards, wipe out the cabinets, the ceiling fans, the blinds, all those major things that are so much easier to do when there's nothing in the home. If you need a contact for that, if you're new to the area and you decide you don't want to do it yourself, feel free to reach out to me. I've got several great cleaning companies that I use on a regular basis. And while we're talking about that, I actually have a lot of vendors for pretty much anything because I have been working in the greater Tampa Bay area for over 16 years now. So if you need a resource for a plumber, electrician, full remodel, anything and everything, feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to share that information with you. Number 5 is going to be painting and flooring. So if you are planning to paint your new home after you move in, it definitely makes a lot more sense to do that before you move all your furniture in. Now, I know a lot of times, time is of the essence and you're rushed and you're maybe closing on one home and moving into another home and you're trying to align all that to be on the same day. You don't want to have to put your furniture in storage and all those different things are at play, and I understand this can be difficult, but I will say it's so much easier to have an empty house painted or to paint an empty house yourself if you're doing it yourself. Once you move in and you've got the furniture there and you've got to cover everything and be so much more careful when you're painting, it's just a big pain. So if you have the luxury of time and the ability to do that, one thing you are going to want to do before you move in is paint. And on the same hand, if you are planning to do some flooring after you get done with the painting, if you're putting in some new carpet or some new wood floors, that too is so much easier when you're not living in the home, you're not disrupted by everything, you're not having to, live your life around the installers, and you're not having to move the furniture or have them move the furniture, which can sometimes result in damage to the furniture. And it's just so much easier all the way around to have it done before you move in. So again, if you have the luxury of time, go ahead and get any painting and flooring done before you move in. Number 6 is going to be the administrative task of changing your address. I know that's never any fun, but it is super easy to do at the post office with the change of address form. The other thing that a lot of people don't realize is that in the state of Florida, you only have 30 days in which you need to update your address. So make sure that you go to DMV, get a new driver's license reflecting your new address, get your new car registration, your new car tags, do all of that within 30 days so that you don't risk a hefty fine. The other things you might want to think about updating your address with are like subscriptions, utility providers, your mortgage, any mortgages that you hold, any other loans that you have so that you don't miss any payments or anything like that. Just kind of make a list of different places so that you can get the bulk of these done all at one time before you move into your new home. There's always going to be a few places that you forget, but I find if you take this time right before you move in to do the majority of them, it makes it so much easier. And number 7 would be repairs. If you're planning to do any repairs to your home before you move into it, a lot of times it makes sense to do that before you move in. In particular, if we're talking about in Florida, the air conditioning. Now I'm seeing in this market a lot of sellers, because it is a seller's market, they're not inclined to do any repairs for the buyers. So a lot of these buyers are getting homes that either need new roofs or they need new air conditionings. Sometimes you can negotiate a slight credit for that. In this market, not always, but you go into it knowing that you're going to need to get that done. And a lot of times I see buyers saying, oh, I'll just wait until it goes out. Well, I'm here to tell you, in Florida, you do not want to wait until your air conditioning goes out, because you cannot live in your house for more than about a day with the air conditioning out. And if you have a 2-story home and your bedroom is upstairs, there is no way in the heat of summer that you are sleeping in an 85-degree home. I know, I've been there, it's happened to me, so I just want to give everybody a heads up. If you need to replace your air conditioner, it definitely makes sense to do it before you move in. There you have it. Those are my tips for things that you should do before you move into your new home. Speaking of new homes, if you're thinking about moving into a new home in the Tampa Bay area, I would love to help you. I am a licensed real estate agent in Florida, in particular in the greater Tampa Bay area. If you're even thinking about moving to Tampa, go ahead and give me a call, send me a text, shoot me an email. However you want to communicate with me is fine. When it comes to moving to Tampa, I've got your back. If you would, hit that subscribe button, ring the little bell, so you'll be notified every time that I release a new video. I try to put things out there that are going to help you with your move to Florida, so I hope that you find it useful. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.